Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys the Endstone sword, and the aspect of the end, and the Raider's axe. Though, you might be thinking, why? The Endstone sword seems, I've never heard of it. What is that? Well, you'll see in the video. Though, you also might be wondering, well, why would you even bring it up? Seems kind of garbage. Well, it's cheap. It's good, and you'll see in the video why I think it's better than the Raider's axe and the AOTE. Though, you might be wondering also, why haven't you been uploading? Why you haven't been uploading very much? And that is because I've been busy, really busy, and I want to put better quality and better and more time on my videos, and I just want to create better videos, and I've been busy. Though, yeah, I'm gonna start the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I put quite a lot of effort into it. So, see ya in the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys a sword that I thought was really interesting. So, today I was looking in the Endstone collection, and I saw this sword called the Endstone sword. And I was, I knew the Endstone sword existed, but I thought it was, pretty garbage because, Endstone seemed expensive. But then I looked in the bazaar, I saw Endstone was really cheap, and I was like, why is this sword so, not well known? Well, I couldn't find a reason, so I decided, you know what, let's figure it out. Let's make an Endstone sword, and let's make a video on it, So, I recorded that video, and I did all that, but it turns out that the resolution was terrible. And I had it on super low resolution, so I'm gonna record the video again, because why not? Though, I'm gonna do a montage of, me making the sword, but it might be a little bit lower quality. So, this is me making these swords that I have in my hands now, the aspect of the end and the Endstone sword. Alright, now that you see me making the swords, not sure that's best wording, but it's fine. So, now that we have the swords, let's see. Well, which is better, the Endstone sword or the aspect of the end? Well, let's go to the end and see. First off, let's compare their damage and their strength. So this is 120 damage and 80 strength. And this has 100 damage and 100 strength. So they're pretty equal. But if you look, they're different rarities. This is a epic sword, well, this is a rare sword, meaning the reforge on this weapon is going to be better, meaning you'll get more crit chance and more crit damage. And overall, that's really good. And I think that is amazing with this sword. So now let's test the damage. So let's start with my warped aspect of end. Keep in mind, I have terrible damage, by the way, so don't judge, because I have terrible damage. Okay, so let's see here. With my warped aspect of the end, I do 71k. That's good. That's decent. Not amazing, but not bad. For a guy in Superior, that's not bad. It's not the best. But you know what I mean. So keep in mind my damage isn't very good. Let's try with the Endstone sword. Let's see here. 29k. Okay, that's good. That's, relatively good. So 29k, let's see. Yep, pretty consistent. 29k. Very consistent, actually. And now let's try the warped, or not the warped, the sharp aspect of the end. This is comparable to the Endstone sword, except it's a lot more expensive. And did you just see that? It's 27k. Now, that is crazy that and it's very consistent, and we're doing 27k, or 26k, compared to 28k, or 29k. And so you might think, okay, so it seems better in damage, But which is the better ability? Well, this has the ability Extreme Focus. Consumes all of your remaining mana to grant extra damage resistance for 5 seconds and extra damage on your next hit within 5 seconds, depending on how much mana was consumed. Okay, that's good, seems extra damage. That's always good. Though, this teleport, as you can see, very good, very helpful, and honestly, who doesn't like to teleport? It's very helpful, and it gives you a speed boost. So, overall, just different. AOTE can teleport, and this is more damage. If you have problems with, moving around, maybe the AOTE's AOTE's ability is better. But if not, maybe you might want to go with the Endstone Sword's ability. Now, alright, so this is just 50 mana. It's going to stay at 50 mana, but this is going to consume all of your mana and do a big hit. And also gives you resistance, so if you're fighting a golem, that could be very useful. So let's look here. Let's do the ability. Bam, 33k. Wow. So that is 33k compared to the AOTE's ability, just teleporting, and it does 27k. And you might be thinking, okay, that's good, but why should I swap to the Endstone Sword if I already have an AOTE? Well, you probably shouldn't. Even though it's cheap, very cheap in fact, it costs around 50k to craft. So if you just pop down some Endstone minions, you can get this sword, and it's not going to be easy to get, 50k Endstone collection, but eventually once you have it, boom, you've got yourself a good sword. And you can craft them and sell them on the auction for even more, because they sell on the auction for around 90k compared to the 50k that they take to craft. Might change, might not. I'm not a popular YouTuber, so maybe change. It might change. We'll see. Though, okay, so that seems good, but what about if I have a lot of mana? Let's say I'm wearing Wise Dragon armor, and I want to see my damage on the first hit with all my mana, because this consumes all your mana. So, let's see. It says, depending on how much mana was consumed. So in theory, we should do quite a bit of damage. Well, the thing is that I do more damage in my superior anyways, because my superior dragon armor is, good. This is 16k though. Don't mind my damage, I know it's bad. And this does 16k. And then this does 15k. It isn't as big of a difference here, but it's still a difference. And also, if we look here, so now that we've got full mana, let's see. Bam, 20k compared to, oh, I didn't crit, that's, okay, 15k. 20k compared to 15k with the Endstone Sword. Wow. Now, let's do it again. Let's wait for my mana to recharge. Okay, now that we've got my mana back, let's see how much damage you were doing to make sure that was accurate. 20k again. I'm sure it might vary a little bit, but around 20k. And that, in my opinion, is very good compared to the 15k with the AOTE, and you're already doing more damage with this. But you've got to keep in mind, you can teleport with the Aspect of the End, also known as the AOTE, though it is both very comparable. But the thing is that if you've got strong dragon armor, it's not even comparable, because you're obviously going to go for the Aspect of the End, because it's a lot better. So, the Aspect of the End, if you have strong dragon armor, is going to be a lot better than the Endstone Sword. So don't go for the Endstone Sword if you have strong dragon armor. So, my crit chance is really bad with Wise Dragon armor. So let's see though, if we swap back to Superior, 27k again, and 29k. That is quite the difference, if you think about it. Though, if you look, you can just see the difference. Quite a big difference. Now, let's go to some Zealots to see if we can, one-shot Zealots. I'm sure we can, but you know what I mean. So, let's see here. 28k, basically 29k, compared to 26k. And keep in mind, I'm in Superior, and when I was in Wise Dragon Armor, it was not as big of a difference, but still a difference. And you see, it might be good, because the Endstone sword is a lot cheaper. And you've got to keep that in mind, because even if it's like, oh, the Endstone sword seems slightly better, but, if I get Strong Dragon Armor, it's not that big of a loss, because this Endstone sword is only going to cost you around 90k if you buy it on the auction, and around 50k to craft it. So, let's go to the hub, and let's check out the Endstone sword. Endstone sword. Let's see here. So, lowest price, 99k. So, around 90k, like I said. A little bit more, but, And for this sword, it's quite expensive, but this is a great sword in my opinion. It's not as good for dungeons, because the thing is you gotta keep in mind, eventually later on you can get a warped aspect of the end if you apply the warp to Reforged Stone, or whatever it's called, and you can get it to be a lot better than the Endstone sword. If we compare it, it's really not comparable. The warped aspect of the end is so much better, though, yeah. So, let's say, well, I don't have the end yet, because I'm just in the graveyard, so is it really that big of a difference still? Well, yes. If we go to here, 23k. Now, if we go to another zombie, hold on, that glitched a little bit, 21k. It's still a difference, even out of the end. And this is going to be helpful, because if you're doing Slayers and you're struggling with your Slayers, this ability is going to help you. Even though this might be, more fun, this might be a little bit more practical. And it might be a little bit more useful and get you out of Slayer bosses as quick as you can. And so let's see how much damage we're doing with this ability. 27k compared to 21k. Dang, that's pretty good. So, overall, which do I think is better? You know what? It's surprising, but I think the Endstone sword is actually better, because you've got to remember that this sword is also cheaper. A lot cheaper, in fact. If you craft it, it's almost 3 times cheaper. So, you've got to keep that in mind. And also, you might be thinking, well, why didn't you talk about the Raider's Axe? Well, the thing is that the Raider's Axe is a bit different, because it will do more damage than this. It probably will do more damage than this. In fact, let's see. Let's see here. So I've got a Raider's Axe right here. It has different enchants. You've got to remember that. Just so it's not a completely, equal thing, but very similar. Let's see. So 23k compared to 21k, or 23k. That was a weird hit. So it's about the same damage, and you've got to keep in mind, the Raider's Axe, you've got to have kills on it, and you've got to have wood collection. So if you're just starting out, the Endstone sword might be better. Plus, the Reforge on this might even be better still, because it's a epic sword. And, well, it's just good. And, well, you might be thinking then, still, well, Raider's Axe obviously seems better then. Well, you've also got to keep in mind that this Endstone sword is a lot cheaper, like I said, but I'm going to bring it up again because it is a huge factor in this. It's a lot cheaper. Since this is an early game sword or a mid game sword, the price of it is a big deal, because you might not be able to afford an AOTE or Raider's Axe. So going with the cheaper option might just save you a lot of money and give you more damage and a better ability. But not always. The ability of this is good. Raider's Axe does not have a ability. It technically does, because, it gets stronger the more wood collection and the more kills. Also, keep in mind, this is not a max kill Raider Axe, but it does have a decent amount of kills, quite a lot. So overall, I would say Endstone Sword and Raider's Axe are very comparable, but when it comes to price, Endstone Sword a lot better. Because, you know, it's just a big difference. 50k and, you know, over like 150k, that's quite a difference. Though, especially if you're in mid-game, because that could buy you Ender Armor, you know, with that extra money. As long as you're buying it correctly and not buy it now. Though, yeah, it is, in my opinion, a really good sword. Plus, you've got to consider that this has the ability. So, that's 3k more damage than the Endstone Sword when it uses its ability. And without the ability, it's slightly worse, but not so much that it's not comparable. Though, overall, what do I think? I think you should go for the Endstone Sword. Unless you plan on getting strong dragon armor, go for the Endstone Sword. And also keep in mind though, Raider's Axe does have the ability to give coins when you kill. Not too many coins, but that's still coins. And it's still good. But overall, if you're going for damage, I say go for the Endstone Sword, and it's a lot cheaper. So, honestly, I think it's so underrated because this thing is insane for the price. And if you're mid-game or early game, go ahead and get it. And maybe next time, when you're thinking of a sword to get for when you're just starting a new profile, maybe go for an Endstone Sword. And it probably will pay off. Though, I am Kitty Send, and I will see you guys later. Because, you know, I'm gonna make more YouTube videos, hopefully. Though, see ya next time. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and sub. It helps me so much because I'm a smaller YouTuber. Anyways, goodbye now.